Hello, everybody. I am really on a video recording binge lately. I just think it's so much fun. And when I try to write, I'm just like, no, no, let me just talk about it. So here's another video for you guys. So I think for these videos too, I'm going to be doing a drink of the day because I love drinking. I'm always drinking something. And I think this is just a good way for us to really bond. The drink of the day today, not to be creepy, is a cold brew from Starbucks. And I'm giving it another chance because the first time I had it, it tasted like just straight up like ass. It was awful. And I was drinking it black because I was trying to be cultured with coffee and shit, but it was not worth it. So the lady today was like, "Oh no, try it with a little bit of creamer and vanilla syrup and caramel syrup." And she made this concoction, which I mean, it's better than what I had, but I don't know. I'm still trying to develop a palate. So today's topic kind of branches off of something that, well, first off, something I heard a few weeks ago, and then something that I was really, really investigating yesterday. Because I don't know, I'm really interested in dating trends, things people do these days, just what the cool kids are doing. Because I mean, as far as dating goes, I've learned apparently I'm pretty traditional, but I don't know. You guys be the judge. A couple weeks ago, I was sitting with somebody and we were talking about, because this is when I had just moved here. So I was like, okay, tell me the Atlanta dating trend, tell me the game people do here, because I'm 102 years old. Those are the kind of questions I ask is what are the cool kids doing? There's this new phenomenon happening here. I don't know if it's just Atlanta, but people are signing up to now be side chicks, voluntarily. Which, I mean, call me old-fashioned, but I always thought being a side chick was not so great. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me. Maybe I'm just out of the loop here. So there's a couple, right? And then person X decides they want in. And so they start a relationship. I don't think this person knows, but these two know. So now they're a couple, but it's not even like they're a couple. From what I was told, being a side chick gets you, I mean, sex, money, sometimes gifts, vacations. If you guys need a rendezvous, there's the hotel, obviously, but basically it's just sex and money, gifts, things like that. And no intimacy. It's not a relationship. It's strictly sex. I think that's why people are appealed to it. It's because you don't need to give your, I mean, I'm going to use man and woman. You don't need to give that man any of your, vulnerability or feelings or anything like that. You just reap the benefits of having a man in your life. And then that girl, the other one, the main one, deals with the, real life issues and drama and all that stuff. It's not even really so surprising to me, honestly, just because of how much, attention side chicks get in pop culture these days. I mean, look at Scandal, which isn't my favorite show, don't get me wrong, but Olivia Pope is known for being the president's side chick. And yeah, she has a great life, and well, actually, she kind of doesn't have a great life, but she's a badass, and people love her. And she's very respected and all that, but she still is ultimately the side chick. The only difference, though, is with her situation, she's pretty fucked up because she's in love with this man. She actually has feelings for the president. And whereas I think this trend, the point is there's no feelings. I could never do it, honestly, but I don't want to share my man with anyone else. I think that's my biggest thing with this is, forget that you're, emotionally unavailable and whatever, but to know that someone else is getting your man too, I personally could not deal with it. I really don't think you can really separate sex and feelings for that long. Especially if that dick is so bomb, of course you're going to develop feelings. Or if you're spending a lot of time with this person, yeah, you're like not going to want it to end ever. So what happens when side chick wants more? Nothing, like the guy's going to leave you because he's got his main chick. So he'll be like, oh, yep, nope, bye. And then he's already got somebody else. Like, he's fine. And you're over here, like, alone, like, emotionally damaged, emotionally unavailable, like, drinking into oblivion because at the end of it, you are alone. Just like you wanted. Except this time, you didn't want to be alone. Because you liked him. And that dick was so bomb. I mean, I think it's also another way that people are copping out of feelings, because I get now the cool thing to do when dating is to be emotionless and have no feelings and not be vulnerable at all and keep everything close to the chest. Yes, I know. I feel like that's like the biggest dating trend of our generation is like how to have a relationship without actually like putting yourself out there. I feel like is like the name of the game. Which in that case, this is pretty much perfect because, you're not technically, and then you do. And then no one's happy. And then a second little trend that I've kind of been researching because I think it's really interesting is this whole sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship. So basically with a sugar daddy and sugar baby, I think they call it like sugaring or something. Maybe that's what the Maroon 5 song is on. Sugar babies. Sugaring basically is when there's like a richer party, which is the sugar daddy. So that person is single, rich, lonely. And then they pay a sugar baby to spend time with them essentially. It's not just like a straight up sex thing. Like I'm pretty sure the sugar daddy wants some level of like intimacy and like a relationship with this person. Now the sugar baby on the other end is looking at it like a business kind of lucrative deal. They're looking at it very black and white. If I do XYZ, I'll get this much money. Basically a relationship that's paid for. Which, I mean, if you're rich, you can pretty much buy anything these days. So things people think of, honestly. So there's websites which the sugar baby like puts up a profile, what they're looking for or whatever, and then they put up like their cost. So like basically they're like $400 a week or like $2,000 a month or whatever. And then the sugar daddy has a profile, and then he like scopes out the selections and then sees somebody in his budget. They meet up and, form a relationship. There's also like meetups, which I think are hosted by these websites. I was reading some stories about some people who went to one in like California. It actually looked really fun. It was like a masquerade. And then there are those people who just like find somebody on their own and then become a sugar daddy, sugar baby thing. So it might be mutual friend. I was reading another story where this girl like went to the mall to like scope a like sugar daddy out and actually did find one because of like the Rolex he was wearing and like made her like mark and talked to him, and then he like took her shopping, and then I mean apparently the guy was a freak. This person said, not me, but he did buy her tons of shit. So when you go out on a date, for example, and somebody like buys you dinner, and then you have sex with them after, it doesn't mean that it was prostitution. It just meant they bought you dinner and then you wanted to have sex. But I think with sugaring, I mean, from what I understand, sex is not a necessity. I think it's more of a relationship thing. But of course, with most relationships these days, sex does come with it. So with prostitution, I think that was more of like a, come and go, no pun intended, sort of deal. I think it's really crazy how, people who I've talked to who were like dating in like the 50s, find a girl, she seems nice, okay, take her to the sock hop, and they get married and have like 18 kids, and it's great. But like now, people are going through being a side chick and trying to not catch feelings, and then going online and creating all these profiles and stuff to like match up with somebody, and sometimes even paying for a relationship. So honestly, I think everything changes with the times, and what's most interesting to me is if that much can change, like in this little time frame with our generation, I'm just wondering what's next. I bet people are gonna start like cloning their like soulmates and marrying them. Which, if that happens, I will absolutely clone Pam from Smart House, because that bitch could do anything. Like, I would never have to cook or clean. I would happily marry Pam from Smart House. Pat was her name. Oh no. Okay, Pat. I would absolutely marry Pat. Dibs on Pat. I'm sure people are gonna clone like Ryan Gosling and like Channing Tatum. Like, who knows? Who freaking knows? I'm not a sugar daddy because I don't have the funds, but like if there's like an eBay version for like somebody who looks like Kevin Spacey but acts like Denzel, I would totally like, bid on that person. But in the meantime, old fashioned wait for this one. But let me know. But let me know if you guys have any opinions on it. If you feel comfortable telling me, I would love to know if you've either been a sugar baby, sugar daddy, side chick, main chick, whatever. Because yeah, I think it's really interesting to hear you guys' stories. But yeah, comment, tweet, like, share, whatever you want to do. Until next time, thanks for watching.